Let's talk about the African People's Organization, or APO. This group was a big deal back in the day. See, in 1902, in Cape Town, South Africa, colored people didn't have a voice. They were stuck in a system that treated them unfairly. The APO stepped up to change that. This was the first time colored people came together like this to fight for their rights. They were tired of being treated like second-class citizens. The APO, they were like the cool kids on the block, fighting for what's right. They wanted equal rights for everyone, regardless of their skin color. They knew that education was key. They pushed for better schools and opportunities for colored people. They wanted everyone to have a fair shot at life. Now, the APO wasn't just about talk. They took action. They organized protests and marches. They challenged unfair laws. They even went to court to fight for their rights. They were serious about making a difference. The APO, they were like the revolutionaries of their time. But instead of guns, they used their voices. They spoke truth to power. They demanded justice and equality. They were an inspiration to many. Word about the APO's work spread beyond Cape Town. It reached Namibia, which was then called Southwest Africa. See, Namibia was also under South African rule, and colored people there faced similar problems. They needed someone to fight for them too. In the 1920s, the APO expanded to Namibia. They set up shop in Windhoek, the capital, and got to work. They knew the struggle was real in Namibia too. They saw the injustice firsthand. The APO's mission in Namibia was clear: fight for the rights of colored people. They wanted an end to discrimination in education, housing, and jobs. They wanted equal opportunities for everyone. The APO in Namibia, they were like the freedom riders of their time, taking their message on the road. They traveled to different communities, spreading awareness about their rights. They empowered people to stand up for themselves. The APO might not have had a lot of members. Most of them were educated folks, but they were mighty. They became the voice for colored people who didn't have one. They spoke out against injustice and demanded better treatment. In 1925, things got even more interesting. A new group popped up called the African National Bond. This group was all about uniting black South Africans, and the APO threw their support behind them. They knew that together they were stronger. The APO's impact went far beyond its members. They inspired a new generation of activists. They showed people that change was possible. They planted the seeds for the fight against apartheid that would come later. The APO, they were like the architects of change, laying the foundation for a more just and equitable society. They may not have lived to see the end of apartheid, but their legacy lived on. Sadly, by the 1940s, the APO faded away. Internal disagreements and pressure from the government took their toll, but their impact, that lasted for decades. Think about it, the APO helped shape the way people thought about race and equality in both South Africa and Namibia. Even though the APO was gone, their ideas lived on. New organizations emerged inspired by their fight. The struggle for equality continued, fueled by the APO's legacy. The APO may be gone, but they're not forgotten. Their story reminds us that even a small group of dedicated people can make a big difference. They were pioneers, and their legacy continues to inspire today. The APO, they were like the shooting stars of the fight for equality, burning bright but brief. But their light continues to shine, guiding us towards a more just and equitable future. They left an indelible mark on history.